My dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved Nabi alayhi salatu salam. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam showed this love back through salah. And whenever he was in any difficulty, إِذَا حَزَبَهُ أَمْرٌ فَزَعَ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ, whenever anything overpowered him, when anything worried him, when anything made him anxious, the first thing that he would run towards, فَزَعَ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ, he'd run towards salah. Automatically, without any of us conscientiously making this move, they go towards our pockets. Either to the wallet or either to the phone, depending on the situation. Most of the time to the phone for something or another. Whenever we have a situation, just think, someone gives you some news that you don't want to hear. Where does my hand and your hand go? Immediately into our pocket. Let me call this one, let me do this one, let me open up my calculator, let me look at my email, let me check this message. As though this is the solution to our problems. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the hadith says, whenever he would be afflicted with any difficulty, run towards salah. That my solution lies here. My solution lies in putting my head on the ground and putting myself in a state of humility and humbleness in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This bad calamity or news that I have just heard from, there is no way possible that this happened without Allah's knowledge, without Allah's permission. Before the creation of the heavens and the earth, Allah already knew on such and such time this incident will happen, and in such and such time you will hear about this incident, and in such and such time you will be affected by this incident. The one who has complete control, قادر على كل شيء, the one who has complete power over everything, is none besides Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. هو الذي يعلم, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He is the one يعلم ما جرحتم بالنهار. He knows everything that you do throughout the day. Right? And all the actions are presented to Him. إِلَيْهِ يَصْعَدُ الْكَلِمُ الطَّيِّبُ وَالْعَمَلُ الصَّالِحُ يَرْفَعُهُ. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all the good deeds as well as the bad, they all are presented to Him. But the good deeds go way above. They outdo, of course, the sins. And they are pleasantly received by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sees us, who understands us, but He wants to see us turn to Him. He already sees us, but He wants us to look at Him. He already hears us, but He wants us to hear Him. He already is completely in control of us, but He wants you and I to acknowledge that He is in control of us. That's all He wants. Turn to me and tell me, Ya Allah, You're in control of my life. Ya Allah, You are the greatest. Ya Allah, I am the most humblest and I deserve nothing from You. Oh Allah, everything that I have is from You. Now I present my situation in front of You. These are the things that I need. Oh Almighty Allah, Hidayah I need from You, food I need from You, drink I need from You. That Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has absolutely nothing to take from us, only to give to us. My brothers and sisters, how can I speak to this Allah? How do I have the ability to share my concerns? How am I supposed to vent in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How am I supposed to share my problems with Almighty Allah when He's so great? Today, a person becomes a trustee of some little place. A person becomes, he wins some sort of little election. And now you have to get an appointment to meet that person. Now you have to go through all these official means to speak to that person. Respected friends, we see this today. We see how difficult it is. People change overnight with titles. Now this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the source of all titles, Malikul Mulk, Rabbul Alameen, تعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء. All kingdom comes from Him, all might comes from Him. How am I supposed to speak to this Almighty Allah? How am I supposed to connect with this Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah gave us this salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us salah. And it is this through salah that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed us how we turn Allah's attention towards ourselves and get from Allah whatever we want. Literally, whatever we want.